Recording.
Recording.
Dale, Mr. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sober Swole podcast. My name is Jake Howard.
Woo!
And I go by DJ Swirl.
Chocolate and vanilla swirl.
And before we get started, I'd love to give a shout out to Royalty Nutrition. And to help me out with that, as always, ladies and gentlemen, Warhorse.
Hey, it's Warhorse. Do you want your workouts to look like this? Or do you want your workouts to slay? When Warhorse picks his pre-workout, he wants it to slay. If you want second place, go with somebody else. If you want to be a champion, go with Royalty Nutrition.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Royalty Nutrition is a veteran-owned and operated supplement company that doesn't automatically go to use the cheapest ingredients while making their supplements for you. Check them out and use the discount code 37HAKE to save you 15% on your entire order. My next shout out of the evening will be to Gorilla Gains. That's gorilla-gains.com. They are a fitness apparel company that also makes great equipment that helps keep you safe while you train. Check them out and use the discount code Jake15 to save you 15% on that order as well. My last shout out of the evening will be once again to me. Check out patreon.com/HakeJoward. That's where I post training program, my training log, not training programs. Training programs. Jesus, what all do I put up there? Blog entries. And I also once a month do a solo show called Hake Rants. Check that out and support me, as I am still an active coach, and I'd love to talk to you about training. Anyway, DJ Swirl, tell them about that buy-to-buy empire.
They say teamwork makes the dream work, but what about the nightmare? From your landlord to your dashboard, sometimes life don't play fair. If you lack time, got a bad spine, we're here to support you, giving peace of mind from the time you buy until we say goodbye. 602-345-0472 buy to buy. 602-345-0472 buy to buy.
That's right, buy to buy. Fast, friendly, on-demand, moving, delivery, staging, TV mounting, and assembly, giving you peace of mind from the time you buy until the time we say goodbye. What you see here is a product of Buy to Buy Studios, where you can experience high quality, less stress, and always remote controlled. We aid you in increasing your visibility online, as well as the quality of your presence. So if you need help with simple things like posts, reels, and stories, hit us up. If you would like to see what we have here without your face covered like me now, we can do that for you too. Live streaming as well. So hit us up, Buy to Buy Studios, buytobuy.com/studios. Jake, what are we talking about today?
Man, we're going to talk about a lot. I want to say when it comes to my life update, I have gone full-time at the Humble gig just because it made sense to do so. My shifts end at midnight during the week, and during those last 2 hours, I'm pretty much my own entity. Unless I'm screwing something else up, like no team leader manager can really say anything to me, which is rad. I've noticed that with that, though, my back is still messing up a lot, even though I'm wearing my back brace and I'm stretching and taking care of myself and things. And so I was just doing like a lower body checklist. Like, okay, hamstrings are still good. Quads aren't tight. Lower back really isn't tight. What is it? And it's my fucking butt cheeks. My butt cheeks are incredibly tight. And I have a Theragun, and I will just stand there and just like hammer my cheeks, just jiggling them cheeks. And I noticed that after that, I feel so much better. Like the back pain's gone. Like everything starts to like relax and reset. So I think I'm gonna have to start doing that like 2-3 times a week because who doesn't love a good butt massage? Yes, hammer them cheeks.
Anyway, my apologies.
No, I love it.
Unprofessional, my bad.
No, that's
I forgot I
perfectly
slept in the
professional.
ads. By the way, if you can't tell what's going on, we have a Google Doc that we share, and we just kind of itemize, what we like to talk about potentially, and that is a far cry for us on most occasions. So it's kind of exciting that we have this ready to go, but it updates live. So while he's talking, I heard him say "hammer them cheeks," and so I put hashtag "hammer them cheeks" in the document. That's why we're here. So anyway, continue,
mean,
sir. I'm sorry.
no, but I've been training 3 times a week minimum with the physical requirements of my job. Like all my bases are covered. I'm getting my cardio in. I'm lifting every day, just reps, reps, reps. I'm eating way clean, um, way cleaner. I know I am satisfied with my physique, but I am impressed with my physique, but I am not satisfied. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Like, so I mean, like I put that picture up a couple weeks ago on my personal Instagram. Like, how come nobody but you told me I was getting fat? You know, and I'm really impressed with how far I've come, especially with how life keeps life and things. And I'm impressed, but I am not satisfied just yet. I still have a little bit of a dad snuggly keg going on, and I would like that to go away.
So you said that you've
But
been eating clean. So
yep,
does that mean you're not eating dinner, the same dinner as your family?
dude, with
Because I for
honestly,
sure am.
as much as I would love to have table dinners with everyone, it's just not the case.
Not
On
happening.
top of that, when it's dinner time, I'm not home. I'm just not home anymore. So, um, like that's sad, but it's also easier, I guess. And if push comes to shove, I'll have a like a pure protein ready to drink shake, and then here's the kicker though. I have two blueberry muffins with it.
Okay.
Just because I know my whole shift, I'm gonna need that quick burst sugar, and then the rest of the muffin carb to carry me through.
Yeah.
So so I mean, it's not like I'm when it comes to my calorie expenditure versus calorie intake, for the most part, it's still really clean. Lots of beef, lots of eggs, obviously. Um, Asparagus, Brussels sprouts, greens, things like that. Rice, sweet potatoes. Occasionally, I will venture out and go get some Panda Express or something, just because
Mhm.
it's right there, and I want to have a fat boy day. So, but for the most part, everything's still really, really clean. I'm drinking 3/4 of a gallon to a gallon of water a day again. Um, Way less energy drinks and sodies.
Mhm.
I feel a lot better for the most part, except for my back's trying to stroke out. But I'm
With the
feeling a lot
brace.
better, huh?
With the brace.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I know. I gotta go home and hammer them cheeks. Oh, speaking of eggs, I want to let people know if you are around Queen Creek, Arizona, I have excess capital in egg currency that I am looking to trade for actual American currency. So,
What's
if you're
the
in the
what is the price? What is your has that changed with the way that the
nope,
world has moved?
nope, I'll do $5 a dozen, and then a dollar per giant Pekin duck egg. Because the other duck lays regular sized eggs, and I wouldn't do that to somebody. It seems like scummy.
You mean you mean you're not gonna be like Doritos and shrinkflation?
Oh yeah, with the same size Coke can, but a whole dollar more expensive.
Oof. Yeah. So you're not that guy. Your
I'm
eggs.
not. I'm not. And I know where more will come from. My birds. It's
Yep.
gonna be okay. So, if you're interested, folks, hit me up. We'll talk. We'll talk barter. But oh yeah, where was I? I wrote this whole damn thing. Yeah. I'm still sober, even though on the days where my back's really hurting, I'm like, why not? I know that's a thought that will always be there, and I need to just keep telling that voice to fuck itself right off the cliff on a daily basis, especially on those really hard days. Um, I understand that's going to be different for everybody, but I know for me, I'm at the point and have been for some time where I am mentally strong enough that I can be like, that's a real stupid idea. And I can talk myself out of it and not ruin my family.
Yeah.
So I hope that my hope is that all people that are going through addiction recovery can get to a place like that or like that and keep the fight up, all that good stuff. Um, I went to the marijuana dispensary called Nirvana that's nearby. Um, not for THC, but for CBD. I actually have it right here. Let's see I can't have the wild raspberry there. 500 milligrams CBD in total. It's 25 milligrams per gummy, and it's a broad spectrum hemp, zero THC. But I'm taking that for inflation, inflammation. God, I wish I could take that for inflation, man. Christ.
Contraception.
Yeah, why not? Rub a little CBD on it.
So do you have cannabis ointment for your cheeks after you hammer them?
No, but I
Oh,
should get some. I should get some.
no Vaseline.
It's yeah, snow Vaseline.
Shout out Ice Cube for no reason.
Oh, I love that man.
I think you need to get some. Let me reach out to. Oh man, I can't name drop. I looked at the name earlier, but it's I'm gonna say his name wrong too. Daryl. He is a former member of my chapter, and he does CBD. So I will reach out to him and see what you should look for, so that way you're not lubeless.
Yeah, have Daryl lube me up. But dude, that's my dad's name.
You said that out loud yourself, so I can't
Yeah, I did.
I can't do much for you. Wait, where's it at? Oh no, I don't have it ready. Oh, I do have it. Yeah, I could in
Nah,
post.
it's too late. It's too
Cool.
late. Nah,
Anyway,
we're just gonna let that. We're gonna let that roll. You may have noticed that the beard is gone. Well, it was getting a little unruly. So I was like, I'll trim it. I took it to the highest guard setting and was just, shaping it up. And then I dropped the guard altogether. And so it was just the blade on the trimmer. And I was edging up over here. And I know she'd,
oh yes.
yeah. And I was like, that's like a movie. There's no way that happened.
Whoops.
Fucking bullshit!
There we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let the sheik
My
tell
life's
it.
a movie. Like people yell that.
Oh man. So did anybody witness
But
this, or were you able to?
no, this was me all at home. I was,
Good.
yep. Britt had run off to pick up the big kids from school, and I was like, oh, I got time to do this. And
Zoom tight.
yeah, man. So I trimmed it down. And I was like, all right, let's just see if I can rock just the goatee. And then me and just a goatee looks like I really don't like folks that aren't just white. Like, this is kind of looking real stereotypical, in my dirty cowboy boots and goatee and just hatred behind the eyes. Looks like I
Don't
don't read good.
don't pretend like you wouldn't blend in.
No, I fit in. I fit in town real well.
Yeah, you be good. You be good. You might get a discount.
Hmm.
Depending on where you go. If there's enough American flags outside, you would have gotten a discount.
Hey, brother, we
For
have a
sure.
meeting about once a month. You want to come to?
For sure.
And then I was like, all right, well, let me see what it looks like, just the mustache. So I brought down just the mustache, and I was not impressed with that.
Yeah.
didn't like that too much. So I mean, start over. It'll grow back, right?
Well, the last time that I made that mistake is the face that you see right there. So I not only did I not try to hide it, but I used it as a representation of what you see under this because I've had this look. I saw something online that was, a meme, something like young people are trash in the 90s online apparently right now. And so one thing that they're talking about also is the 2000s is this beard.
Yeah.
And it was like all the people from Friends, and then it was like Craig David and a bunch of other people. And I'm like, it's stuck. I have not heard anybody complain about it to this day, so I'll keep it moving.
Let them haters hate.
Let them hate. Let them hate. But man, that
Nope.
sucks. I've
It
not.
is what it is.
I've made that mistake before, whether it was a sneeze or just, looking down real quick because something dropped. I've done that before. On my neck too, like right here, with where you
Yep.
don't want it, and then something drops and you go, oh. And now it's a bad idea. So, yeah, man.
That's what
Uh,
it is.
so is Nirvana? Is that the place that you go to simply because of proximity,
Pretty much,
or
yeah.
okay, okay? What's
No,
the?
but
Is there a
I want to get.
dispensary selection deep east?
I don't. I don't know.
You don't
I
know,
have
okay?
no.
Because the
I
brand that you
walked.
mentioned, I got those for my wife previously.
Yeah, I walked in and I checked in with the armed guard there at the front door and then walked over and had him create my profile. And then the lady checking me in was like, "So do you like smoke?" And I was like, "No." And she was like, "So you like edibles?" And I was like, "Only on occasion." And she's like, uh. you know, like they get like the "why are you here" thing. And I was like, "No, I really just need to get some CBD just
Yeah.
for inflammation stuff. That's it." She's like,
So,
"So you don't?"
uh,
And she was like, "So you don't like smoke at all?" And I was like, "No, that." And I got like way too many kids. So she's like, "So you're like worried about the smell?" And I was like, "I guess." She goes, "You might want to look into more edibles and then vapes then." I was like, "Okay." Uh, I mean, I appreciate you. That's obviously where you would point someone with those concerns. But I was like, "No, I'm here for CBD." And then the dude walks over and he was like, "We have like two brands. This is the best one. Here you go."
so do you have any experience with oils or tinctures?
Yes, I do like them.
Because I'm a fan of the
Um,
tinctures if I'm going to do straight CBD.
mhm. Yeah,
Just
I'd
because,
do a couple drops in my gallon
yep.
and just rock all day. Yeah, but no, I mean, I like the gummy. It's a sweet treat. And
So
then my
you
body
do,
feels better.
so you do like edibles.
Listen, I do like THC edibles too. It's just one of those things that like I'm not going to keep around too often just because I know it is such an occasional thing.
Sure. But
Like
but why would you conflate edibles with THC?
no, that's okay.
That's all I'm
Then
saying.
maybe I misspoke.
Yeah,
I
no,
apologize.
because it sounds like whoever was trying to help you was trying to convey that they understood the same thing by saying, so you don't, because that's a very easy like lead question, right? Because if someone doesn't care about the odor or that, they're going to direct them toward a whole nother section of the menu, and then you in the opposite direction. So she was basically just trying to get you off to a good start. But
Well,
your
I don't speak you damn stoners language, all right?
but your experience is narrowed to the point to where with brownies, I've never heard anybody say, "Oh, would you like these CBD brownies?" So if someone offered them to me, I would be surprised. So if your experience with gummies has only been of the THC variety, it's not understand or it's not a surprise that you narrowed it into that. And so all I'm saying is that they've done a lot, man, and a lot that I don't even partake in, but I pay attention. I try to partake every now and then, but like just that's why I asked. So what's your experience with tinctures? Because if I'm not gonna go edible but strictly CBD, that's where I lean toward. Can I get vapes and concentrates the same way? Sure. I like to use them when they're more of a hybrid situation. So
Okay.
that's my preference, simply because for the similar reasons. I don't want the smoke. I don't need the smell. I don't need any. I don't need to leave a false impression with my daughters for no reason. So up to this point, I don't
Well,
know if they do know that I smoke, but I know that my daughter saw the bag one day and was like, "Daddy, what's a vape?" It's like, well, so
it's, and my thing is, I know um, if I am to indulge in some THC, my children cannot be around because I get very like sit down and quiet and don't care, and
ooh, zone out. Okay,
that is not good with my lunatics that I'm raising. Like,
yeah.
not a good idea. I'll just be sitting there on the couch staring at the floor, and something smells like smoke, and the house is on fire. Like I gotta keep my wits about me around here.
Mm. But that's what the Copenhagen's for, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what the Copenhagen's for. Give me that, give me that little bit of stimulant. Just keep the eyes shifty.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Oh
man.
man.
Tell me about business.
Business is unique. Um I gave my feature presentation, or AKA my pizza party, at my business networking group today, and it was centered around what I've come up with and referred to as rather notonomics. And that's basically just, the idea that anything that I do can be done by the people who would hire me, they just would rather not. And so just outlined that, and then had a great conversation with a few different members afterwards. I got a few new members coming down the pipe. So it will be very, very good to see that group grow. But man, staging has really taken off on my end of the business, and not from the perspective of me trying to insert myself into that realm, but just simply to add value wherever that is with the established presence. And so, yeah, the it's going well on that standpoint. And then the extension of staging, which we do with Spin and now with Bird, um, allegedly that's the best it's ever been. I don't know. I don't have access to the analytics or to the numbers to be able to look at that and see what that means, but I know the higher ups are happy, and we are looking to try and solidify an extension of the contract that we signed when we started back in October, and so that's the next phase for that. I've already completed as many um, touches with the that I did last month or last week. I already took care of the same amount in 2 days this week. So about to double what I did last week. And then if that can become the next norm, then like I posted earlier this week or last week, when your side piece starts generating revenue like your main squeeze, then you gotta give some more attention. So yeah, whether that is with realtors or interior designers, whatever that means. From that part of staging to staging scooters, like just trying to, extend my reach, but not, overextend. And so just finding what that balance is, really locking into that right now. And then I got hit with a curveball at the beginning of this week and had to drop almost 4 grand on my van in order to be able to continue those services. So it's just part of the deal. The age of my vehicle and the amount I drive it, it's that time. And so I had to drop it. And so broke as a joke currently, but the accounts payable is lining up like it needs to be. So that will be a short-term problem. And then, just try and extend that into next month, turn 41, and then keep it moving, year 5. So that is where the business is at right now.
Would you say that you are the Mr. Worldwide of scooters?
You know, there's a guy who no longer works for Bird, um, and he shows up in my phone as Dr. Rideshare. And I guess that's what his personality, or I don't know how he used that on social media, but shout out. I gotta look up his name in my phone. I'm so done today, dude. That playing. I put together a playhouse, or we started putting together the shout out to Colin, of Colin and Co. He came across a used playset from one of his clients, and his client was like, "I've got nothing to do with it. I was gonna get rid of it," and he was like, "I'll take it." So it's this massive older unit that's still in great shape, and so he hired a set of people previously to take care of it, and they fell short of the goal, and so he asked me to come through on Sunday, and so I helped him get the rest of it to his place, and then we spent a solid 5 hours today after our meeting putting it together, and we've got probably about 75% of it done. And we have no instructions, no manual, and it's a used piece of equipment. So he's got children. The idea is to do it right, but without the actual way to do it. So we're figuring it out in real time. So most of the time, we could have cut our time in half basically if we knew what we were doing. But it was a learning experience. We got to talk. So it's always good touching base with him, and his network is super strong, and he's super transparent with trying to put people in positions to succeed. And so I want to be around people like that. So it's another part that comes with being in a networking group, and using that as an opportunity to network with people who put you on game, because he's a beast in his league, in his avenue. So um, yeah, that's what I've been on for the last couple of days, and you know, just trying to stay focused on the things that matter and not get distracted with all of the wildness that's going on around us.
Wild, wild, wildness.
Fucking
Like,
bullshit!
yes, that right there, that one.
So, which one of these you want to touch first? Because we got a few of them that we can hit
Oh
on.
man, whew.
Want to roll the dice? What are we looking at?
Let's just go in order. They're just so.
Go for it.
So, you had asked me because you put vasectomy gang up there, and I was like, I know, I'm working on it. But the you had posed the question of, so where is this bill from?
I don't know. I have to look at the details. I'll post it
Okay,
if we clip this part out. But probably in the South or Florida. But they've
yeah,
essentially made it law, or are attempting to make it law, that life now starts at conception. And
okay,
so my mind, as someone who is no longer concerned with that, like I was at a younger age, it doesn't hit me as like um, a shocker or big news. And in terms of responsibility, I understand it and it makes sense. But like, my question I posed to you was, do you see younger people, younger men, um, being active with their own self care?
no, no. I think that some will, because some guys, a very select few, aren't, especially at that young age where you're just goose slanging. Um,
Pew pew.
some are responsible,
Some. What's
I
that
can.
percentage?
Oh, like two,
Oh, out of
dude.
100?
Man, yeah,
Yeah, you're
I
probably right.
yeah, dude. I remember when I was that age, I was like, who cares? You know, like
Reckless.
I'm I'm gonna live forever. Like, Lord. Like,
Oof.
so I mean, so no, I mean, so this bill is also there's no is it the same bill or is it another bill that the person who is potentially the father of this baby is automatically responsible?
It's
That
probably the
or
same.
is it a
I
whole
don't know.
different
We'll figure that
or
out.
it might be a different piece of legislation,
Sure.
but I agree with that. I agree with that. Um, even if even if you're in a state that hasn't messed with abortion laws just yet, I completely agree with that because it takes two to tango, man.
Yep.
Like if you did done goobered up inside a rando and she's pregnant, guess what, dummy? You're a dad. You know, like you know what I mean? Like I think that holding people accountable for their actions is necessary. And while sex is fun,
Sure.
um, it has a biological purpose. And if you create the biological process, congratulations, Papa Bear.
So does that, if you have to monetize what that means, does that start like at a low amount? Is it like $10 a month for a certain amount of time? Because okay, so what happens if it doesn't go to term? Miscarriage.
Didn't didn't you did it? You,
No,
I
no,
don't
no,
know,
no,
man.
no, no, no. Pause, pause,
Like,
pause. Because there's
yeah,
been an investment at that point.
right. So,
Are there
um,
takebacks? No takebacks?
yeah. Well, I think if they approach it like child support, all child support ends at a certain age, right?
Sure.
So, I mean,
But what
if they're gonna,
in terms of a woman's care? So let's just make that the focal point because that's what really matters,
yeah,
right? It matters that the woman carrying the child has what they need for a successful pregnancy, right?
right,
So, not trying to make light of supporting them. I'm just trying to understand what that means because it sounds hilarious on paper because it doesn't
right,
make any sense prior to now. So, or hasn't had the urgency. It makes sense, but like just in terms of accountability, you want to talk about dudes not getting snipped for the sake of being safe, like dudes stepping up and taking their accountability. What? How much higher is that percentage? It can't be much higher
no, probably
because given the option, most of them are rather not economics.
not.
So yeah, like in terms of rather not economics,
Right,
there's not sticking around. So and that's prior to all this craziness. So the idea is making sure that they're taken care of, but also is there a curve to that? Because someone who works at McDonald's who knocked up their girlfriend and some dude who's a trust fund baby living in a
it's different.
it's different. So
Yeah.
what does that mean though?
Well, I
Is it
think I think it'd have to be. I think it'd have
is
to be
so every
kind of.
life that means that every life isn't worth the same amount.
I mean, correct.
Oh man, all lives matter asterisk. I didn't know there was an asterisk. Barry Bonds asterisk on all lives matter. Man.
Fucking pores.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like these, I need answers because
Well,
what,
I
regardless.
think it'd have. I think it would have to be approached like child support
Oh,
is, based on income.
sure. Okay,
Yeah.
based on income, but again, there's a certain amount of care that's needed at every step. First trimester
Right.
is one thing. Second, you know what I mean? So like, I feel like there should be there should be a curve of some sort that the funding or whatever that means in terms of monetary, like that should be low at first and then increase at
As
birth,
yeah,
right? Like
no,
just
I could. That makes sense to me. That's
so just quid pro quo, right? That way, if you've only invested so much money and then unfortunately the birth doesn't come to term, right? Like you didn't pay the full amount. Like again, it sounds gross,
right.
but that's how this turns. Like the idea that that a man or that men have to dictate this is gross. So we're playing on that battlefield, right? So
Yep.
we have to acknowledge that everything that we're talking about now, we don't want to. However, you couldn't get a vasectomy when you wanted to, and we talked about that last year because of your physique. Now
Yeah.
you started the show talking about your physique. Where is your urgency with getting that done?
Waiting on the VA to approve my shit.
There we go. Because you had a lot, you had a heavy opinion about simply their opinion of you, right?
Yep. I was
Be-
still pissed about that
Very good.
kid.
So, I mean, just think about that, right? You're you're in the position to take care of yourself so you and your lady can have, like you said, sex is fun.
Yes.
So, it's
Dropping loads.
it is fiduciary, I don't even want to say the word. It is responsible to make sure that you don't bring on an excess expense
Hmm.
because that's what a baby is. Babies are expensive. So you're going to have to spend money one way or another.
Yep.
You got 6 of them. So like not all babies, but that doesn't mean they don't cost you in some way because they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It adds up.
Okay. So like again, what would need to be done then in order to move the needle so that way young men take the responsibility of their own consequence into their own hands?
I think that needs to be taught on a lot of levels, period.
Because you and I went to
Um,
school when they would rather not talk about sex at all.
yeah. I remember sex ed and we like laughed at the
It
lady.
was a joke. It was something
I
that
remember
you looked forward to for the funny. Yeah.
I remember 3 specific things.
Okay. Let's see it.
It was the the Cheetos spit thing.
What?
Okay,
Come back. Go ahead.
so everyone had a cup of water and one person chewed up a Cheeto and then swished the water mouth and spit it back in. And then everybody had to like dump water back and forth in between their cups.
But they didn't like
And
exchange the fluids, right?
it was just yeah, no one was drinking water after
Okay.
that point.
Cheeto fluid. Good.
Yeah. And then so at the end of this with the 22 of us in the class, the teacher was like, "Now do you see how you all have floaties? That's how STDs work."
Yikes.
And I was like, "Oh, gross. Still want to bang, like because I'm like 15. Like,
Oh man. So
uh,
not effective. Not effective.
right.
Okay.
The second thing, the second thing uh, she brought up was black girls don't like giving oral.
Your teacher?
That's what she said. She said
Hold
culturally,
hold
it's
on,
it's
man.
something that yep, this white lady, old white lady,
Okay.
and she said culturally it's looked down upon. And I went,
Whoa.
what?
Fucking bullshit!
Hold on.
Right.
I haven't been able to use this drop yet.
Hold up, wait, hold up, that was racist.
So like,
I never
and
thought
I
I'd
was
be
like,
able to use that. Oh my
there you
god.
go. All right.
That's
And then, so
amazing, dog. That was how they taught you.
yep. And
Just a heads up.
uh,
Oh my.
and then I sat behind Tara Warren. And this was in
Ooh,
the
name drop.
oh. Then
So
I'll
let's
leave
say
it at that. I
MSA,
sat
full
behind.
government.
I'll leave it at that then.
Yo, you're trying to get yourself killed tonight, cuz.
Ugh.
Wow.
Yeah, well, I mean, I gotta watch. I
That's
gotta watch this.
hilarious, bro.
She's a very successful
Okay.
woman these days. I
Okay.
gotta.
Okay. Okay. So 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 the synopsis is that sex ed back in the day was not effective.
A joke.
It was a
Yeah,
joke.
like
Okay.
we didn't do the condom on the
Oh.
banana. Nothing like.
Okay, I remember that, but my recollection was the the top of the roller coaster, if you will, of that education was the birth scene. And so it was basically like it felt like it was scared straight. Oh, you think you're ready to have sex? Watch this. Yuck mouth. And then it's like, no one wants to see that. I've been privy to the birth of 2 kids. Didn't look down both times for that reason. Because it's like, I spend enough time down there anyway. I don't need those
Hey.
flashbacks while I'm down there taking care of business. So it was just, that was my personal preference. So I didn't do it. I was there holding my wife's hand, making sure that she was good. That was it. But some people like to catch, you know what I mean? Like different
Mhm.
strokes, not for me. So like to say that, to say, just to frame it, that's how I remember religion, right? It's all fear based. It's not educating them or giving them the choice, giving them the knowledge to make good choices. It is scaring them into not making a poor choice. Like the framing is all terrible from the get. So like, yeah. Anyway, but sex ed now sounds like it would be even more of a joke because of the access that you can get on, say, TikTok.
The internet.
So if you can jump on TikTok and get better education about sex than you can on the school books, maybe TikTok has some validity. I don't know, but it seems like our government has decided that aside from China being able to access our information and to use it against us, um, we just no voice, no option.
So here's what I don't understand. I am all for the government doing its job in the sense of protecting American citizens' personal information and data. And it's come to light that the spy balloon that got shot down, right?
Mm-hmm.
They know that that happened at least twice in the Trump administration. They just didn't tell him.
Right.
Okay. So China has been openly and brazenly spying and stealing our information for
Sometime.
quite some time,
Right.
right? So the specific TikTok ban does not make sense to me. Like if you are going to make if you were to pass like an anti-Chinese spying bill that dove into, by the way, these are all the known ways that we know China's already spying on you, and we're going to get rid of that.
Mm-hmm.
That would be like, oh shit, it's working. But no, this is a specific vendetta that feels very personal.
Who in your sphere has said that TikTok is harmful because people can express their opinions and share media?
Nobody.
Not a person, right?
No,
I've had
the only thing that people our age say is like, goddamn kids and their TikTok dances and their TikToks, and
so
like
so so all of this is so basically voguing. That is all more problematic than genocide, than all of these other things that
right.
are like on our timelines whether we want it to or not. Like the amount of death I've seen in the last 6 months, man, it is. I used to watch. I used to watch, like, remember E-Bombs World? Remember
Yep.
like Faces of Death? Like
Faces of death.
I have chosen to see that when I was emotionally immature
Right.
early on in my life. I'm a grown ass person now who understands what all that does to people, and it's unavoidable.
They used to play the Jihad John decapitating people videos on the news.
Yep.
The news.
Yeah. So, but again, it is, if you look at the numbers and you look at the reason, like you said, the why all has to do with Palestine.
And
The
I mean,
why has to do with them not being able to silence people.
definitely feels like that. And then, especially when you tie it into, and I know it's controversial, but when Elon Musk bought Twitter and released the Twitter files, and it was just how much the federal government was involved in policing people's speech and getting people banned and whatever back and forth. That's concerning as shit. But now it's a basically a foreign. It's an American company that is foreign ran that or has the CCP has a seat on the board or whatever, and but because people are saying stuff that they can't police, they're real pissed about it.
It's weird.
So yeah,
It's just trying to do it better every time. It's not about doing it right. It's literally overspending to own the control of it so that you can do it to your bidding. Like, doesn't help anybody. Doesn't help everybody. They allowed people to milli vanilli their way across and to make an income. And like I've seen
yep,
people, talking about, pushing back because their livelihood is on TikTok. You know what I mean? Like,
yep,
what? They're gonna ban that. You and the ironic part is the people who are making the most money on TikTok, they're not talking about Palestine. They're purposely being quiet about it so that way they continue to monetize their content. Because once you start picking a side, it affects someone one way or another. So they're choosing to be silent about it so they can continue to monetize it, and that they can't even do that now because the government is like, nope. Other people are using it for a different purpose. So sorry.
mm-hmm. What's I then it's probably a good thing I'm not a big influencer because I know people literally on both sides.
Sure.
I mean, I know a guy who I've been friends with for years and years and years, and he has a house in Israel. I know Palestinians, you know what I mean? And like, I reached out to be like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm sorry. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because like they're hearing about cousins getting blown apart and shit, and like refugee camps. You can't justify that, man. You just can't. Like I
And the fact that so many of the people who are dying are not in uniform,
just people,
just
just
people,
people.
and mostly women and children.
Yep. It's,
And the fact that they're having like auction sales stateside for property once it gets cleared.
yep.
Gross, man. It's so
Oh,
gross.
you see the soldiers modeling ladies' underwear that they found in houses that they fucking
Oh,
cleared out.
like they're doing all the Nazi stuff.
Nazi stuff for sure. It's
They are
and
like, you can see side by side pictures that are like, it has the same energy.
and heaven forbid you say that. Don't say that.
What, call a spade a spade?
Whoa! Don't do that.
Be literally literal.
Yeah, it's sad. It's so like there is a difference in between being anti-Semitic and anti-genocide. There's a huge difference, and it is disgusting that there is such a policing of that speech.
But like you said earlier, there's cheetah juice. There's Cheetos juice.
Cheetah juice everywhere.
So if you say one bad thing about an Israeli person who's taking pictures with dead women's garments or shoes and then making TikToks, oh, using TikTok to show off their score. and to say that they got it for their fiance to give to them. Like, imagine you coming back from overseas and you give Brittany a pair of shoes. Does she care where they came from?
She would, yeah.
Okay. And if you told her that what you did over there, you think she'd be
Yeah.
sporting them?
No.
Okay. So who is that woman to be like, thank you? This is the other side of the coin of all of this oppression, of all of this colonization, right? It's aiding and abetting by their partners, by their support system, right? They are they are comparing, they are doing comparisons at parties or whatever with those shoes. You know what I mean? Like that's not, if you could see one person doing it, many people are doing it. So like I don't see that on the other side. All I keep hearing about is one attack and then slaughter. And then people starving and then dying from aid boxes falling on them.
Which is, or they drop the aid boxes in the river. So
Or
go
in the
get
ocean, and then
it. Yeah.
they're starving, so they don't have the energy to swim out to get to it.
Yep, and they're dying on the way to the box.
Bro, that's our tax dollars, man.
Yep.
That's us. That's us right there.
And like if that doesn't break your heart, I don't know what you are as a person.
The pandemic was a warm up. The pandemic was the warm up to apathy. How apathetic will people be? How indifferent will people be to other people dying? You're seeing it in your timeline. I keep seeing this little kid that they showed that was dying of starvation, and they're like, this kid needs help. These people need help. And then they showed a day or two later, and he's a skeleton. And it's just like, yo. Meanwhile, yeah, man, it's wild. Craziness. And then all that's going on, and then Hollywood is over there patting itself on the back. And then using an indigenous tribe on stage to distract people from the genocide that happened to them. It's wild, bro.
The biggest jerk off fest of the year.
Of the year. And I asked you, I was like, you want to talk about the Oscars? You said, what happened?
Yeah.
Same here. I didn't watch that shit. Not gonna watch that shit. Like, what, dude? And it's not even because I feel a type of way about it more now. It's just that I care a lot less. That's really all what it is. I care so much less about supporting shows, about sharing it online and doing all that stuff, bro. You guys have so much money in your marketing department. If you can't sell your own show, that's on you.
Yep. If your show is written like shit and sucks, that's your fault.
And after the writer's strike, all that, like I can't watch a lot of the shows I used to watch. Like the Chicago series of shows like Fire PD and Med or something like that.
Yeah.
I can only watch the medical show. I can't watch the fire and the I'm no longer entertained because it's so contrived. So contrived, and you're just like, oh my. The world is this messy, and the bad guys aren't even that good at their job.
Yep.
That says more about us, we the problem. That says more about us than it is about the people, the people at the top moving the pieces, because they're not even that, they're blatantly bad about it. And we just sit here and take it. So, cucking for capitalism. Woo! You know, hammering them cheeks.
Yeah. But it's not even capitalism. This is the most crony shit.
Oh, it's all capitalism, bro. All this is
mafia bullshit.
All of it is because it's exploitation at its core, at its definition.
We will disagree on definitions.
No. You Google it. Use the internets. It'll tell you. You cannot talk about capitalism without exploitation. It is in the definition. So as long as that is the rule of thumb, someone has to suffer for someone to come up. That's just what the rule. That's what the definition says. And then it's about how we apply it. Oh, okay. So I'm going to do as much as I can and exploit as many people and get as much money as I can until I'm caught, and then I will spend my money that I earned to defend my right to do that. That's what it is, right? By and large, to all these corporations that keep taking advantage of the people that buy their products. We talked about shrinkflation. That's exploitation. They're exploiting, and then they're using inflation as the reason. They're creating this false wave of increased whatever to justify, just like you said, there's no justification for genocide. So, how is there a justification for this level of exploitation? It's all capitalism because our government is exploiting us, the taxpayers, to fund that overseas. We are being exploited.
Which is why all taxation is theft.
And that's why if we had a different system, or if that wasn't, if if we could break our conditioning, we could reestablish what that means. We could adjust the definition. The same way they adjust our rights. If I use TikTok, I'm gonna make a dance or I'm gonna make a piece of content. I'm not going to use it for the purposes they're trying to restrict, right?
Yeah, I
But
post
guess what?
clips of the show.
But guess what happens? I lose my ability simply because they said so. So that means that we need to say so, because all of these rules, every rule is made up. These are all constructs we create for ourselves and then pretend like we can't change the definition. We the problem. It's us, man. But like you said, with your full-time gig, as long as the benefits are good, as long as you are benefiting from the exploitation, you'll be like the TikTokers who lose their source of income. You'll be quiet because it makes you money, and then when it's a problem, you'll complain. It's the American way. And then we'll use the most stark example on the opposite side, like China or communism or whatever, to show why we can't change it at all. See how this thing is bad also? And look where that got us. Look at our choices for our leader now. That's what we're stuck doing. See how bad this one is?
That's why I voted for the
Capitalism,
lady.
baby.
That's why I voted for the doctor in psychology and the quirky Jew.
Hey, but guess what? They'll both be quiet about. Neither of them will use the word genocide either.
I'm pretty sure they have.
I'm pretty sure that Bernie is getting ran over the coals because he's refusing to call a spade a spade.
Oh, I wasn't talking about Bernie. I was talking about Spike Cohen and old Joe.
Oh, the 2.5%?
Hell yeah.
That's why I have no idea what you're talking about, because it doesn't make my radar.
Yeah.
You got to look for that in order to find it.
I voted for the lady and the guy whose nickname is Spike.
Yeah, man. An unserious third option.
Now we'll take the unserious third option over trash every day. And I wish more people would start voting for the third option.
What's the third option's policies, aside from trashing the other side?
I haven't seen it. Like I said, well, see, like I said, man, I have done my best to really distance myself from politics, and I don't really talk too much to the libertarian circle anymore. I don't.
There you go.
I just fucking don't.
Because it's unserious. It is an
It's not that
unserious option.
Well, I don't talk to people in the Republican circle. I don't talk to people in the Democrat circle.
No,
when it comes down,
you made a choice to align yourself with the Libertarian Party. You were the secretary, or you were a treasurer, or whatever. You had a leadership role, and all of that is gone. And because it was an unserious option,
I was
if you were
involved
serious,
in
it would
I
still
was
be
involved
around.
in it. I was involved in a charity. I wasn't involved with a.
I don't know what that means.
So, the Sober Caucus is a charity. It is a caucus in name only. Its whole purpose was just to help people in recovery.
Okay, but you purposely attached libertarianism to it.
Because that's how we all met.
Okay, but that was the premise of why you would meet, was to talk about libertarian issues, right? For the benefit of the sober caucus, but
we get
under the
we talked
premise
we
of
talked we
the
talked
third
about
option.
we talked about how can we raise money so we can help people get into sober living houses? How can we um, affect change in the harm reduction environment? And then we didn't talk about political issues other than the
And
drug war stuff
an unserious option.
because it was a charity.
No. But you attached libertarianism to it. Why? Just be sober.
This is how we met. It was
No,
just
it's not just how you met, bro. That's your identity. You're identifying as a libertarian by choice.
okay,
I'm just telling you what you did. I'm not
okay.
judging you for it. I'm just saying you made a choice, and then now it's an unserious option. We don't have a third party. We don't have. There's who is the third person running against Biden and Trump? I don't know. No clue, and that's terrible. But the Libertarian Party is the other third option, right? It's supposed to be.
What's well, I guess the third option is going to be Robert Kennedy Jr.
Another unserious option.
And then his
We can't hold two parties accountable when the third one doesn't even exist. We the problem. It's us, bro.
that's all I'm. That's all I've been.
But you're right. I'm the same way. It's like the Oscars, not paying attention to it because it doesn't serve me. Working and providing for my family is what serves me. So that's what I pay attention to. That's what I put my energy into. But it doesn't mean I'm still not aware of what's going on. Because I would like for there to be a change, but I'm not going to be a pessimist plus inaction. Because then you're just a complainer. You're just a Karen. You're just unhappy with what you see. Not you're starving and an aid box drops on your head. We build inconvenience to be oppression in this country because we have no serious threat. We are the convenience capital of the world. So so our government is so concerned with the inconvenience of TikTok. Just having to see it. Just the idea that they can't direct the narrative because there's other options. That's like there being channel 2, 3, 5, 10, and 12, and then 15 wants to be the truth channel, and then they get rid of, and then you can only get cable. You can't no longer get those channels. It is so oppressive. And knowing that TikTok has existed this long and has given us zero value, or a value that has tarnished our culture, made us all copycats of one another. Like, I was watching So You Think You Can Dance with my wife, and the judges were talking about, I hope we don't see any TikTok dancers. And it's so real. Like, you don't want someone to come in and start voguing,
Yep.
man. I feel bad for anybody who did do that, because oof. And I hope you don't monetize that. I hope that's not your only monetization stream, because it's going to be gone soon. It is not going to be an option soon. So,
Because Dementia in Chief did say he will sign whatever bill.
yeah, he said he'll sign it. He'll sign it, and then we can go have cereal for dinner.
Try not to shit our pants.
Cereal's $8 a box. Oh, my Atlanta. Oh, what else do we want to touch on, sir?
That's
We covered it, bro. I think we got it. I think we got it all.
We nailed it.
I say we have 12 viewers right now. What is that?
That's it looks like there
Shout out to
are
everybody watching. Everyone
10.
who has given us the opportunity to entertain them this evening. It's late for us. We start this
Sure
at
is.
7:30. We didn't get started till 9. So thank you for being a part of this.
Yeah, we did our talk for a half hour before we started the show. Shit,
We did. We
Yeah,
talked so long beforehand. We had an hour and 5 minutes, and we still knocked it out. So, get us out of here, sir.
ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much once again for tuning in and listening to the Sober Swole podcast. I am Jake Howard.
And I go by DJ Swirl.
Chocolate and vanilla swirl.
Bye.
Hey, it's Warhorse. Do you want your workouts to look like this? Or do you want your workouts to slay? When Warhorse picks his pre-workout, he wants it to slay. If you want second place, go with somebody else. If you want to be a champion,